Hey Internet, here's my goal. I'm trying to start a podcast called Talking to the Internet. I don't really have any idea what I'm doing other than having read some articles and really tried to explore what the details of starting a podcast would look like. Where I'm currently at in the phase is I have the idea. I've developed some materials online to help promote myself. What that looks like is it looks like a website. It looks like an introductory episode. I've gotten myself out on the App Store directory or the podcast directory for Apple Podcasts. So I've got hosting to host shows. And then I've even made it to the point where I've been able to record some episodes, right? I've been able to attract some folks to actually be on the show. I've faced a lot of challenges though, and I've faced a lot of things that I'm trying to figure out. So one of those things that I'm trying to figure out is how do I attract guests? It's an interview show about people who talk to the internet. How do I do that? How do I get those people to sign up? How do I get those people to respond to my email, to think about my email, to actually read my email? They're all busy. They're not, I don't see them as not wanting to engage because, for any negative reasons. It's a matter of you only have so much time in your day. The other thing that I want to think about, and the other thing I'm trying to think about, is how do I pitch the show? How do I capture the show? How do I package the show? There's probably a better word for it. In a way that people will actually want to listen to it, and that people will continually listen to it. People will keep thinking about listening to it. I don't want to get the cart before the horse, so I'm not trying to get the cart before the horse, but one of the things you do think about is, okay, I'd like the show to be sustainable. I'd like it to continue to go. I'd like the effort put into it to kind of have some reward. I know it has an intrinsic reward, is I care about learning about the people who make content on the internet. Why do they do it? What's their motivation? What were their decision-making processes along the way? What did they fear? What was their enjoyment? What was their elation? I want to know those things. I want to learn those things, because that's often what we don't get from those people. Sometimes for good, and sometimes because it's just not the right context to actually think about it. It's not the right context to actually talk about it. So that's what I want to do with the show. The interviews that I've done so far have gone really, really well. I've been really pleased with them, and I think I have the makings of a really good show. So when we get to sustainability, when we get to thinking about how do I make this long-term beyond just an interest, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I started thinking about sponsors. And it's like, can I get sponsors? What would sponsors look like? What kind of sponsors do I want to take? How do you actually start that conversation? I don't know any of this stuff. I know that I follow people who create podcasts. I know that I listen to a lot of shows as just an interest of mine. But what do you do? How do you move this thing forward? How do you actually make a show? How do you actually make content and put it out there on the internet? That's what I want to do in this vlog. I really want to describe the process. I really want to walk you through the process, and I really want to kind of capture all the stuff that goes into starting from scratch, starting from zero, and getting to hopefully, a published show. More hopefully, a published show that people listen to. More hopefully, a published show that people not only listen to, but they value, they engage with, and it brings joy to their life. So that's the goal. That's what I hope to do. This is entry number 1 into the vlog, and we'll see where we go from here. Thanks for learning with me.